From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday night prime time. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Short pass caught by Henry. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 36-yard line.
2nd and 9 now. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now brings up 3rd down.
9 yards to go.
Hey, look at the defense for these Texans. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference.
Oh, come on.
Impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate?
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense. Has built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And able to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive. Now a first carry here for the running back. Past the 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one good for 33 in the first. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Now back to throw. Now they go straight. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's a big loss of early, and it brings up 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
He's not going to get anywhere close to workers. He'll stop him well short of the yellow line. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll try to him for the goal line. He loses the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it. points instead of 3. They took a chance there. It just didn't pay off.
Yeah, right here, the anti-analytics guys still thumbs up. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play. You're a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Here's Mecole Hardman.
Mecole Hardman. It's a gain of 20. And the Texans first down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Down. Ready.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Ready.
Second and 6.
Here we go. Yellow, 43.
Well, keep leading on the running game. Back to the ground. Nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Ready. Hut.
They'll try and run this one right up the middle. Now he's free at the 35. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Texans add 6 to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game.
Texans 9. Jaguars nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM, where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get Scouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
I was missing that. Man, that's
And it's 3rd and 5.
they just
Defense for these Texans. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
I think if you talk to the head coach, you're
they
going
didn't know. They should have missed
his
that.
team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
Lamb's first catch of the game, good for a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game and playing a Thursday night? Guys have the extra pep in their step. You go with them early often.
This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in. Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Keys. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
The field has got him incomplete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37.
That's good for a Jaguars first down.
Check that. Come on.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
60 Bison. Hey, man.
Now trying to left side. Keys. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Like, we take that on and stuff.
Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there, that brings up 4th.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game. The coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Evan McPherson on for the field goal. A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
36-yard line.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Ready. Red 38.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Back at the 33-yard line.
Ready.
And they'll run on the inside. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Even though they were stopped before the first down marker, well-executed run there by the offense.
It certainly was, and the best part about it, it opens up other plays, especially the play-action passing game. Because if you can sell the run, that brings the linebackers up, and you can throw over the top of them and in front of the safeties.
So just shy of midfield, they tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it didn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for a risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to get up here and move the guys. He may have 3-man blitz starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, check that. Street.
They'll keep it on the ground. Keys. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And now they'll shift things around. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust. And that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards, the loss, second and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here we go on second and 12. Throw outside complete.
Why did they make him drive? I
And he'll
didn't.
get positive
That's another
yardage there as he'll
good.
get a touchdown. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Keys. That is brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. He'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. That's to Bowers once again. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
10 yards.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. In motion, the tight end. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
At the 8-yard line.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. George Pickens hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. And
Thank you.
They found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point line is set up and good. And that'll give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime.
McPherson set to kick off.
After the touchdown, McPherson ought to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Their own 35-yard line.
Ready up.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Here we go.
And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 135 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Drill 3. Ready. Blue, 60 red. Black shot. Set.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that touchdown incomplete. Good coverage there first. The ball free. Second down.
It's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
He sets to fire deep. Incomplete. Try to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Black 40.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Yellow, 43. Red, cycle. Fury, yellow. Black, ultra. Set.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Jags take over in terrific field position.
On the set. Cowboy 80.
Pickens on the swing, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Jaguars are going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
76.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, come on, baby.
Lamar too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Come on. Set. 18 cards. Ready.
Looking to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time. It's going to lead to 3rd down.
That was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
40, 70, 60, even. Go, Reed, go. Come back, team. Come back, team. Go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Come on.
And the Texans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit. That's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now a timeout signal for, and they'll get him with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Black, red, yellow. Real green. Red.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waiting moments of quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
60 red.
They'll throw down on the final play. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's second down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing Charles, but boy, to start the second half on the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
And they'll keep leading on the running game back to the ground. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. He'll look to throw. Targeting the outlaw, he completes this to Metcalf. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. And Audible here to get a new look. They'll drop the throw. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30 yards.
And the Texans, first down. First and 10.
Now on first down, he'll drop the throw.
God,
So left side, it's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21 34-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you. An interception's results. Frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Up the middle they go. Keys. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's going to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it at the ball. Keys. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2nd and 4. Short throw caught by Bowers. Down the sideline he goes. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
Hey, check that. Street.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On first down, Keys. Now, this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Brings up 2nd and
Now 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. Now he'll tackle, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That is a big fella, Nabi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Back to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get a little closer at least. If they make a field goal, it turns out to be the better call here.
McPherson's kick is good. And that'll move him back within 6 now. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get him back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, and that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
taken down back at the 42.
They'll set up a throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of buying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
It's now third down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Hey, go red. Red, yellow. Ready?
They're going to try and throw. All right, rifles one. It's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
It's a turnover on downs.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Fourth quarter coming up here.
Oh, the Thursday night. You
are watching the
He just killed himself?
NFL on EA Sports.
Nah.
It's in the Bible says
Oh, yeah, he tried himself. Yeah.
that's killing himself.
Yeah, he killed himself. Yeah.
Well, somebody gonna tell me that information.
And you got to read the Bible every day, baby.
Well, I don't think I ever read that part. I thought that man did know it.
First and
I'm
goal, and most
nah,
likely
he-
4 down
He killed
territory as they
himself.
need a touchdown and the PAT for
That
the lead.
is terrible.
He said,
That is a-
And he gets halfway there for the 4-2 on a gain of 2.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Jaguars take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
yeah.
A very important extra point there, up and good. They have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter.
19. Evan McPherson set to kick off.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
There you go.
And this one definitely out of the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back in the fourth quarter. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14.
1 yards, the gain on the play. And the Texans first down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here that's close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60%.
Good morning.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
The 3-yard line.
Yellow. Ready.
Back to throw again.
That was the thing about me.
Trey McBride from 3 yards out. And the Texans answer back with a
I see the house.
to take a fourth quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown on the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so. Retake the lead.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Jaguars 20.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Second and 9.
1-yard gain brings up second and 9 at the 36-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one he's fortunate just fell incomplete.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say he's made some questionable decisions out there so far.
That was questionable decision.
He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
That was very questionable.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He'll find Wayne. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
And a Jaguar first down.
They'll look to throw again. Now he'll take this and run. Pickens is there on the crossing route. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Jacksonville.
Oh,
He tried to fit it in on the slide.
I said if you go with him, hand it off.
Picked off by Trenton Simpson. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their
Put
own
him in.
47-yard line.
That's bad.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just has too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Gain of 16 yards. And the Texans first down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Back to throw now on first down. Now wasting time going right back to DK Metcalf. And he gets his down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
Second down and 6 now. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Those backs have been dependent on safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his screen was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Let's go. White, 33, yellow. Blue, go. Grill, green. Ready?
Again, he'll drop the throw. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle is made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line.
14 yards. And the Texans first down.
Now an audible here into something else.
At the 20-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
4 yards.
Well, with a fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Second and 6. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth-quarter lead. After a break down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
32. Jaguars 20.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's first and 10.
Here we go. 60
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Leo Chanel.
I should have went to square one right back.
Ready. Black, 95, ready.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Brings up second and 11.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Down right at the line.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
Here we go.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout.
Brought down by Terry
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Blue strike. Steel black. Green jack. Hut.
They'll look to throw here. That's complete. And the Texans are going to have a first down, and that is a big one, as they should be able to run it out from here.
9-yard line.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
The 6-yard line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. It's going to bring up a fourth and goal. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Ready up.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on fourth and goal.
Yellow. Zoom. Drill green. Yellow. Go. Set.
First
Take
pass.
this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.